Yeah, no, I've been involved with street soccer for a couple years now. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and I've been to a lot of their different events throughout the years. And this is just another one that obviously I was very excited to come out to. Street soccer is doing a lot of great things, not only around New York City, but throughout the U.S. as well. And I think them putting a field here in an area like this is fantastic for the kids. I mean, you can see here you have plenty of kids coming out to play. I think sports is a great way for kids to stay active, and street soccer, obviously, that's their mission, is to make sure that they can, not only help kids, but people of all ages that maybe aren't as fortunate as some others. So I'm glad to be here.
At the end of the day, the most important thing is to get kids outside and running around, and we hope that they fall in love with the game of soccer. And, I think one of the best things about soccer is all you really need is a ball and a couple people to play with, and then you can figure out the rest. So what you're going to use for a goal and what the field's going to be. But obviously, it's been made a little bit easier and nicer here. So I think the kids are excited to have this in their backyard, and it's a great thing. Had guys like Tattoo and Mike Yurimovich, who actually were my coaches at a youth level. So for me, that they were like the big time players. So to have them, to be able to watch them and then have them coach me later on was pretty cool. And I'm sure hopefully that's what people look up to Dax and and I know he does a lot of stuff in the community, and me as well. I coach some teams in Long Beach, and I just try to give back to the game that's given me so much, because it's the least that I can do, to be honest.
Kind of like Hunter, I was raised in Orlando, Florida, which is a very nice town, but it's not a very soccer-rich community. So for me, when I was a kid, all the college teams around the area. I mean, whenever I got to see a college kid train, I thought to myself, wow, these guys are my heroes. So obviously with Hunter and I having the privilege of being able to be professionals here in this great city, you hope that some kids can be affected by you. You hope that some kids will go home, even if they don't know your name, and maybe catch a game and say, oh, I met that kid and I want to be like him one day. So it's certainly fantastic for these kids to be out here and get to experience something like this, a grand opening of a field right in their community. Hopefully for me and Hunter as well, it'd be great to see some of these kids really take a liking to soccer and fall in love with it, and maybe work really hard at it one day, go to college, and maybe someday become a pro. So for me, that's what it's all about. When you give back to the community, you want to see kids really start to enjoy it, and that's a passion for us. And so it's great to be out here today, and hopefully some of these kids will have a lot of fun.
For me, it's really unique because one, obviously I spent a couple of years at Red Bulls, and played with Dax on national teams and against him for a long time, and against a lot of other guys on that team. So played with Pecky my first 2 years in the league. So there's a lot of cool, interesting storylines there. But at the end of the day, it's going to be 11 versus 11, and it's going to be, hopefully, I think, a very entertaining match for both fan bases. And, it's going to be a great opportunity just for professional soccer in New York and in the United States, because to have the proximity that we have, I don't think, there's probably been any higher profiled game than this one coming up. And, it'd be cool for the fact that, fans can just get in on a train and go to an away match, or carpool across the Arizona. So it's something unique that hasn't happened before, and hopefully it'll definitely be a new piece of history, and hopefully one that will continue. And we can look back on it as being something pretty special when we're old guys and say that we played in that game.
Yeah, no, we were excited. There was a buzz around the locker room. The U.S. Open Cup is a competition we take very seriously, and we haven't done very well in it the past couple of years since I've been here. So that's something that collectively as a team we've said we want to change. And in order to do well in the Open Cup, you have to beat the best teams from some of the lower divisions. And like I've said before, we don't consider the Cosmos in a lower division. We consider them, equal to us. We consider many of their guys on their team plenty capable of playing in the MLS. And I think it just shows you how far that soccer, and not only in the U.S. has come, but in New York as well, because the Cosmos are a very storied franchise. So for us, It's a very important game. Obviously, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a battle. And I think the main thing for both of us is that it means a lot to our fans. It's for bragging rights in the New York area, and you know how New Yorkers are. They don't want to have the other team come out on top. So both teams are going to take the game very seriously. I think, like Hunter said before, anytime there's a trophy on the line, that makes the game that much more important. So we're taking it very seriously. We're excited that it's the Cosmos, and we expect a very tough game.
I think we've seen, since he and I both first came in this league, the attention of the league, people's aware of that there is a professional soccer league in America, is grown so much. And now to have a field like this in their backyard, to one where they can just get out and run around and play, and probably stay out of trouble with their parents, but to get that exercise and hopefully to fall in love with the game, because having this in the back of their yard, if maybe somebody didn't know what soccer was, and maybe they'll get introduced to it and fall in love with it, and that's all you can ask for.
I think for the most part you can just look at the landmarks around the city of how soccer's changed. I mean, look at Red Bull Arena. When a company as big as Red Bull decides that they want to come in and invest millions of dollars in a team in MLS, I think that's something that is tremendous. That just shows how far the league has come. That shows how far the growth of soccer in this country has come. Hunter can tell you better than I can that the Red Bulls, they were playing in Giant Stadium for years, and playing on turf, playing with football lines almost every game, seeing that the stadium was only half full. Now you get to see that Red Bull Arena is a staple in the New York soccer area. I mean, it's a beautiful stadium, in my opinion, the best stadium in the U.S. for soccer. You can see that the fans come out. You saw the U.S. national team just played against Turkey recently, and the stadium was full. It was jam-packed, 26,000 people there, all rooting on the U.S. So it's really fun for me to be able to be a part of that and to see how far that soccer's come, not only in this area but in the U.S. in general. Everywhere you go in MLS, you can more or less see a sold-out stadium. Chivas USA notwithstanding, we hope that they can come around, but it's very fun for me to be a part of it. Something that I'm definitely going to tell my kids about one day. But as a player, we just have to hope that it continues to grow and continues to get on par with some of the best leagues in the world.